Chapter 94. Not crazy. I sense a danger, a creepy danger. Feeling, just a feeling. Feelings might not be allowed, Long Wanqing said in disbelief. Gu Hai shook his head without further explanation. But, righteous father, if we don't collect this technique inheritance, Master Liu Nian won't be able to get out of the deadly chess game. Gu Qin was worried. Yes, what about Grandmaster and the others? Long Wanqing worried. Gu Hai looked at the dead chess game, out far away, and shook his head. But who can guarantee that if I drop another piece, they will definitely be able to come out of the dead chess game? The crowd froze slightly. Since it's a dead chess game, there's only death to decide the final winner, and there's still a winner alive to get the inheritance. If we drop another piece, there's no winner in the dead chess game, there's only a loser. The dead chess game might disappear, but what about the people inside? Maybe they will escape, and a maybe, Gu Hai said in a deep voice. Maybe all will die. Gu Qin froze slightly. Long Wanqing's anxious expression suddenly stalled. What then? Long Wanqing said, anxiously. Buzz. That. A golden chess piece, righteous father. I heard that in the heavenly remnant realm. You all got a golden chess piece back in the beginning. A golden chess piece that can condense your own cloud beasts. Is this one too? Gu Qin was surprised. Hu. Steeply, where the golden chess piece was, a palm shadow emerged and grabbed the golden chess piece. The moment that palm shadow grabbed the golden chess piece, its circumference coalesced more and more, but it was Meng Tai, who grabbed the golden chess piece with one hand, and wrapped his arm around the wind chime with an extremely exuberant look on his face. Got it, ha 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 ha, Fu blood, after all the fighting. It's still me who got it first. Meng Tai's virtual shadow steeply roared with a fierce face. The power of the great formation, mobilize with me, rise for me. Meng Tai held the golden chess piece with a loud shout. Boom. The golden chess piece was a source, countless golden threads connected to all the black pieces. Boom. Instantly, all 30,000 odd black pieces jumped up and surged towards the place of the transparent chess piece. With a roar, clatter, clatter, clatter. Under a series of collisions, the transparent chess pieces were immediately sent flying to the side. This is a virtual shadow. How did Meng Tai's image in the chess world show up outside the chess game? Long Wanqing was surprised. Because Meng Tai has jumped outside the chess game, he's no longer a chess piece. Gu Hai raised an eyebrow and said, not a chess piece, then what is it? He's the chess player. Gu Hai's eyes narrowed and said, a chess player. Could it be the golden chess piece? Long Wanqing was surprised. Not bad. He got that golden chess piece and controlled all the black chess pieces. All the black chess detachments are all Montague chessmen. Perhaps it is said that we heard their voices 3 days ago when we first came here, because Meng Tai and his men were near the golden chess piece at the beginning. Perhaps they were fighting for the golden chess piece, and Meng Tai fought for it. Gu Hai said in a deep voice. How, Grandmaster, Camp Master Li, are both proud sons of men. How could they be preempted by Meng Tai? Long Wanqing was surprised. Because Meng Tai has the key that leads to the shortest path in this grand formation, Gu Hai said in a deep voice. Wind chimes. Long Wanqing's complexion moved, staring at Wind Bell, who looked numb on the side, and on Wind Bell's head, a hiding peony flower tattoo. Chess player. Wouldn't that mean that Meng Tai won, and everyone else is going to die? Gu Qin's face changed and said, not necessarily. In a game of Go, there can be more than one player. Gu Hai narrowed his eyes and shook his head. Sure enough, on the northern side of the board, a golden chess piece suddenly emerged once again. Countless golden thin lines emerged from the golden disc, connecting to all the white pieces. Snap! A palm appeared steeply and held the golden disc, slowly condensing to silhouettes. Wei Yong and Li Wei. Li Wei looked at the opposite side of the wind chime in a daze. Wei Yong grasped the golden chess piece and probed his hand to pinch it. Go, rumble. More than 30,000 white chess pieces suddenly converged on the north, followed by charging towards the transparent chess pieces. Boom, with a loud bang, a large number of white pieces and transparent pieces touched and shattered. Sinful beast, do you think that demolishing this group will be useful? What is not yours will never be yours. HMPH. Wei Yong let out a loud shout. Wei Yong has also jumped out of the chess game. He's a chess player too. He's in charge of the white pieces. Gu Qin's face changed. Because of Li Wei. Li Wei also has a peony flower tattoo on his head. Long Wanqing's face sank slightly. Buzz. On the side of the board, another golden piece suddenly emerged. A third piece. How could there be a third piece? Gu Qin was surprised. However, he saw that the third golden chess piece emerged with golden threads connecting all the transparent pieces. A pawn grabbed the third golden chess piece and steeply condensed a figure. That woman in white, peony sect leader, Rosie, Long Wanqing was surprised. She was demonized by Fu blood. She also has a peony flower tattoo on her head. She is also a key. Gu Qin revealed a hint of surprise. Brother, big brother, save me, Rosebud, who was stuck by the neck, screamed in trembling. And Rosebud's arm paddled in the direction of Meng Tai, revealing a begging look. Big brother, Long Wanqing was surprised. Fu blood, you actually got it as well. Got a golden chess piece through Rosie, Wei Yong said with an ugly face. Come on, ha ha ha, Meng Tai, this is your sister. Come again if you're capable. Fu blood said with a scowl on his face. Sister, HMPH, demonized by you, right? What's the point of pretending? Gaining my sympathy? I don't have sympathy anymore for a long time, Meng Tai said in a cold voice. And after that, he turned his head to look at Wei Yong. Old man, this is all your fault. HMPH, sinner, it's all your fault, Wei Yong retorted, looking towards Meng Tai. I'm to blame, HMPH. Exactly who is to blame is still unknown. However, you and I are fighting. There is no need to be taken advantage of by this beast. Just now, somehow, the earth suddenly turned transparent. You see it. The earth dragon vein. And that 8-colored peony, Meng Tai coldly said. Good thing too. Li Wei my disciple. I will channel my power to you. Let's eradicate this beast first, Wei Yong said in a cold voice. Yes, master, Li Wei answered. Wei Yong probed his hand and swung it towards Li Wei, who probed his hand and struck a palm in the direction of Fu blood. A transparent ball of light in general steeply emerged from the side of Fu blood's body, and the ball of light wrapped around Fu blood and Rosie. Boom. A palm blasted on top of the ball of light, and the ball of light trembled violently. The power of all beings. Follow me, Wei Yong bellowed. Rumble. Steeply, all the white pieces trembled slightly, as if a power followed the golden silk thread and rushed straight to the golden pieces in Wei Yang's hand. Wei Yong immediately passed the power to Li Wei, and the power of that palm of Li Wei steeply skyrocketed by countless who extracted power, some of the weak cultivation, but also suddenly dried up. Snap. That shriveled person was steeply extracted of all his power, shriveled to death, and the white chess piece corresponding to him also steeply burst apart. Long Wanqing shrieked in shock, being forcefully extracted to death. Being a chess piece was so sad. Is that Master Liu Nian? Gu Qin steeply pointed at one of the more than 30,000 vapors in surprise. Where? Long Wanqing instantly shrieked in surprise. The master is still alive. Great. At the same time, on the other side, Meng Tai also struck out with a palm. All the black seeds were under his control, extracting countless power to crash straight into the ball of light outside Fu blood. Boom. At the same time, more than 30,000 silhouettes also steeply emerged behind Meng Tai, and one by one, they were painfully having their power extracted. Is that Li Haoran? Gu Qin steeply found Li Haoran among the 30,000 shadows. Roar. Fu blood let out a loud shout. Through the golden chess pieces in his hand, he mobilized the power of all the transparent pieces, resisting the power from the white and black pieces. Boom! Above the chessboard, the transparent pieces seemed to collide with the white and black pieces in an instant. Behind Fu Blood, more than 30,000 silhouettes abruptly emerged, and these 30,000 odd virtual shadows, all of them were actually snake-haired heads. All demonized people. Gu Qin's face changed. How did Fu Blood do that? Long Wanqing was also surprised. Roar, roar, roar. The 30,000 demonized people showed grimaces and pain as they transmitted their power to Fu Blood. Patriarch, I can't do it anymore. Let me go. A demonized man was extracted power until he dried up. Boom. The transparent pieces implicated by that demonized person burst apart. That demonized person died. Under the powerful force, the transparent sphere of light around Fu Blood's circumference steeply cracked out with countless cracks. But so what? They are just somehow transparent pieces on the chessboard. Only black and white are the orthodox ones, Meng Tai said in a cold voice. Transparent chess pieces that can only defend, not attack, are indeed useless, Wei Yong said in a cold voice. Boom! With a loud bang, the transparent light shield outside Fu Blood's body burst apart. Meng Tai and Li Wei, the two palms that combine the power of more than 60,000 cultivators, blasted onto Fu Blood's body. Even though Fu Blood had a huge power defense, but, unable to strike, he could only be passively beaten. Asshole, puh. Fu Blood flew backwards, and a mouthful of blood gushed out. Right at this moment, Wei Yong suddenly struck out, probing his hand and pointing violently, as if a sword chi rushed straight out, shooting towards Fu Blood's palm. Boom! The golden chess piece in Fu Blood's palm burst apart. What? No, no, Fu Blood abruptly exclaimed. If you shatter your golden chess piece, you are ruined, out of the game, Wei Yong said in a cold voice. Sure enough, as the golden chess piece burst into pieces, the countless golden threads that were connected to the transparent chess piece instantly disconnected and disappeared. Fu Blood's figure also suddenly and slowly disappeared. It was about to grab Rosie, bared Jin. Steeply, a long sword appeared in Meng Tai's hand, and with a single blow, he chopped off Chance's head. What? Amidst Fu Blood's astonishment, the silhouette disappeared into thin air. Chance is the key. Do you still want to use this key to snatch the golden pieces in our hands? Now, you're completely out, Meng Tai said in a cold voice. Chance's snake-haired head flew in the air and slowly disappeared, leaving a wave of incredulity in his eyes. Clatter! The transparent pieces in the board were suddenly like a plate of scattered sand. Go! Meng Tai and Wei Yong each separated large swathes of black and white pieces to crash into them, and instantly, a host of transparent pieces had large swathes crushed. Following that, they were surrounded by 10,000 black pieces and 10,000 white pieces, and surrounded towards a corner of the board. Fu Blood was out of the game, leaving Meng Tai and Wei Yong as the two remaining players. Nearly at the same time, Wei Yong and Meng Tai each clashed their palms against each other. Boom! The two palms collided, indistinguishable from each other, and the 20,000 or so pieces left in each of them were instantly pumped with rolling power surging in. Behind Wei Yong and Meng Tai, each seemed to be standing with more than 20,000 cultivators, with their palms on top of the backs of the two men, being forcefully extracted to give the two men a stalemate in general. Black and white faced each other. Meng Tai, you're really ruthless. Rose, you killed so cleanly. That's your own sister. Oh yeah, you also cleanly killed Yu Yao. Yu Yao is also your own sister. Ha ha ha, Wei Yong said hideously. What? Li Wei's face changed at the side. Yu Yao is Meng Tai's sister. Meng Tai looked at Wei Yong coldly, not being angered by Wei Yang's emotions, but coldly said, My good master, isn't all this still thanks to you? When I killed Yu Yao, I didn't know that she was my own sister. As for this rose, it's all been demonized, so killing it was just as good as killing it. Your conspiracy created my cold-bloodedness. Humph, sinful son, deceiving your teacher and killing your own sister. You still have the face to talk about me. I have already betrothed Windbell to Li Wei. You now have nothing, Wei Yong said with a gloomy face. What? Windbell beside Meng Tai's body. Her numb face suddenly changed. Li Wei, however, looked at Windbell opposite him with an excited face. Meng Tai twisted his head while he was in a stalemate with Wei Yong and said in a cold voice, "My good master, do you think your words right now are still useful? Windbell is mine, even if I have used her. She's still mine, saying that I killed my own sister. Strangle me to death, you can't spare me. The four of us, the senior siblings, have arrived at the present situation. It's all because of you. Do you think I don't know? Aren't you doing this for the inheritance here? HMPH, back then, you stole the young me from the Peony sect, Li Wei from the Dinglong sect, and then Yu Yao from the Peony sect. If it wasn't for you, I would be the Peony sect leader right now, and Li Wei would be the Dinglong sect leader," Meng Tai said in a cold voice. "What, Meng Tai? What did you say?" Li Wei stared blankly. "Third senior brother, you don't know yet, do you? You are the son of the previous generation of Dinglong sect patriarch. It was Wei Yong who stole you back to the Dafeng gang. As for me, Yu Yao and Rose, they should be the sons and daughters of the previous generation Peony sect patriarch, and Feng Ling is Wei Yang's daughter. Can't you see that?" Meng Tai said in a cold voice. "When did you know that?" Wei Yong looked at Meng Tai in a cold voice. "I didn't know at first, until I entered this game of chess and saw Rose. I understood everything, everything. Wei Yong, you have a deep city. In order to get today's inheritance, you started planning so long ago. Old Mang wants you set up Dafeng Gang, Dinglong sect and Peony sect to guard the seal. Old Mang wants you calculated that by this year he would release the inheritance, so he left 3 keys for the 3 sect masters, all of whose sons and daughters were transformed into the keys for this time to solve the problem. It's not enough that you have the wind chimes. You also stole the sons and daughters of the other 2 sect masters and want to eat alone. Ha ha ha. Unfortunately, you stole the wrong one. Within the Peony sect, Rose is the key, while Yu Yao and I are not the keys. You have extra control over Windbell and Li Wei. You want them to be under your control in everything, whereas Yu Yao and I are left alone, thus causing Yu Yao and I's rebellious character," Meng Tai said in a cold voice. "But I raised you guys after all," Wei Yong coldly said. Wei Yong coldly said, "So what if I am using it? Windbell is my wife. If I didn't at that time, I would have died. What I owe her, I will slowly make it up to her later," Meng Tai coldly said. On the side, a miserable smile appeared on Feng Ling's face. "Makeup, there's no need. You're going to die soon," Wei Yong said in a cold voice. As he spoke, he only saw Wei Yong probing his hand and pinching it. It was as if a silk thread emerged steeply, hooking Windbell, swoosh. With a violent tug on the wind chime, the wind chime's body involuntarily flew up into the sky and was instantly pulled in front of Meng Tai. Meng Tai's palm gathered the power of more than 20,000 people. Terrifying to the extreme, as long as it grazed the body, it could perish instantly. It looked like Windbell was going to die in Meng Tai's hands. Meng Tai's face changed. "Asshole, old thing, you actually planted spells in Windbell's body before. For the sake of the inheritance, you're going to let Windbell die." During the change in his face, his palms suddenly sidestepped, wanting to avoid Windbell. HMPH, Wei Yong, however, showed a sardonic smile on his face. His hand exerted force violently. Pfft! A mouthful of blood sprayed out from Meng Tai, as he was suddenly hit hard, because of the avoidance. "Die!" Wei Yong roared hideously. "Don't!" Li Wei roared steeply as his figure slammed into Wei Yong. "What? Sinister? Wei Yong didn't guard against Li Wei and was immediately staggered by the impact, and all the power in his hand was suddenly deflected. The wind chime was saved, but Wei Yang's calculations fell through. Old piker, boom, Meng Tai boomed out, and a palm blasted on Wei Yang's body. Pht-ah! Between Wei Yang's lack of defense, he was instantly knocked out, and under the terrifying force, he instantly slapped his entire body out of shape. Boom! More than 20,000 virtual shadows behind Wei Yong suddenly disappeared into thin air. Boom! Meng Tai's backhanded palm blasted on Li Wei. Li Wei also sprayed out a mouthful of blood as a large part of his body deformed and flew backward. Brother Li Wei. Wan Chime, however, let out a steep cry of alarm. Meng Tai was slightly shocked at Feng Zhong's attitude, but did not hesitate and grabbed the golden chess piece that Wei Yong had loosened his hand. Snap! With one hand, Meng Tai had two golden chess pieces, all of which were grasped in his hands. Ha 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 ha, old piker. Now, the black pieces, the white pieces, are all under my control. I'm the only one playing the game. You all lost. I'm the only winner. I'm the only winner. Ha 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 ha. Meng Tai laughed hideously. In the middle of the laugh, he once again mobilized the power of the golden chess pieces. The black and white power all converged. More than 40,000 people's power was extracted by Meng Tai. Meng Tai's face showed a hideous palm towards Wei Yong and Li Wei. Die, don't. Wan Chime let out a steep cry of alarm. The figure jumped violently in front of Li Wei. What? Meng Tai's face changed abruptly, but it seemed too late to withdraw his palm. Forcibly withdrawing his force, the power of the palm diminished countless times, but the residual force was still horrifyingly huge, and it crashed into Wind Bell. Puh! A mouthful of blood sprayed out from Wind Bell, and she instantly went limp, as if this palm had shattered Wind Bell's entire body. No, no, Wind Bell. Why? Meng Tai steeply picked up Wan Chime in shock. But, at this moment, Wind Bell was already paralyzed and bleeding from her 7 orifices. Wan Chime. Li Wei weakly lay on the side and exclaimed in shock, Brother Li Wei, I'm your Yu Yao. Wan Chime laughed miserably. No, Wind Bell. Didn't you recover from your madness? Why did you have another attack? From the very beginning, I wasn't crazy. I've always known who I am. You're not crazy. Meng Tai and Li Wei were all stunned as they looked at Feng Zhong. They all thought I was crazy, but I wasn't. Cough cough cough. Wind Bell said weakly while spitting out blood. Meng Tai quickly took out an elixir and fed it into Wind Bell's mouth. However, as the elixir entered the mouth, there was more blood in Wind Bell's mouth. No, why? Meng Tai shouted in horror. I do love you, husband. I do love you, but it's too late. You came back too late. Wan Chime coughed up blood in despair. What late? What's late? Meng Tai roared as if he had gone mad. I slowly fell in love with Li Wei Guo. I am Yu Yao. I am willing to be Yu Yao. I like to be Yu Yao. I love Li Wei Guo. I start to forget you slowly. But, why did you appear again? Why are you so late? It's too late. When I gave my heart to Brother Li, you came back. Why so late? Too late. Wind Bell said weakly. Wind Bell, it's okay. I'm still back, isn't it? I'm still back. Meng Tai's eyes reddened. Cough cough cough. Husband, I know you used me, but I don't blame you. I know that by marrying me, you have used me, but I'm happy and I don't blame you. I also know that you pushed me to Brother Li Wei. I don't blame you either, really. I've never blamed you, husband, Feng Suzu said as she was dying. It's going to be all right, Feng Suzaku, Meng Tai said, anxiously. The pills could not be fed. Meng Tai used his true essence to install Wind Bell's body, but Wind Bell's body was already a mess and could not be saved at all. Meng Tai's eyes reddened. Husband, cough. I'm dying. I only have one request. I know you won't let brother Li Wei go, and I'm not begging you to let him go. I'm only begging you for one last thing, please. Wang Chime's eyes could no longer open. You say, Meng Tai screamed as tears slid down his face. When we die, bury us together, and let me be buried with brother Li Wei, okay? Wang Chime closed her eyes and spent the last lines of tears from the corners of her eyes. Slowly, Windbell lost her voice. The last trace of sound also disappeared. Holding Windbell, Meng Tai froze there. Wang Chime's last request was actually to be buried with Li Wei. Buried with Li Wei. In an instant, Windbell's earlier desolate words echoed in his mind. It's too late. You came back too late. It's too late. You came back too late. It's too late. You came back too late. It was like a magic sound that filled Meng Tai's mind. Meng Tai hugged Feng Bell with tears in his eyes, and his whole body froze there. At the last moment, what Windbell chose in her heart was Li Wei. Too late, Feng Bell. On the side, Li Wei cried up in despair.